Hey everybody, it's been 3 weeks. Did anybody actually notice that there was an extra week in there? So it's time for another Taiji development update log video thing. I don't know why I'm talking like this. Anyway, I'm Matthew Van Deventer, and Taiji is an open world adventure puzzle solving type game that takes a lot of inspiration from The Witness, and if that type of thing sounds interesting to you, then there's a link in the description to find out more. So the bonus area is done. Which means that all the major areas in the game are done. And I've been doing another round of playtesting, which may be the final round of playtesting. So I ended up taking last Friday off as far as doing the devlog because, believe it or not, it turns out that when people playtest video games, they usually play them on the weekend. So Friday rolls around and of course, I get swamped by a bunch of bug reports, so it was kind of more important that I fix those bugs for the testers so that over the weekend they're not playing a broken build and either reporting the same bugs again or just having a bad experience, because some of the bugs were kind of showstopper, progress preventing bugs. So that's, of course, a good thing to get a bunch of bug reports in, because I don't really want people who pay for the game to be the ones who are doing the bug testing on the game. I'd rather the game be as bug-free as possible when it comes out. I don't think that that's 100% possible, but certainly the game's a lot closer to that ideal than it was a week ago. With that said, it does take a little bit of an emotional toll on you as you're like scrambling to keep up, and more bugs are coming in faster than you can actually fix the existing bugs. So I put out a bunch of builds, and I think the emotional toll of that, I may be overstating it, because it's kind of a mixture of that and sort of just this thing that comes with getting to the end of a long project like this. And I've heard from other developers about post-launch depression or something. But I'd kind of more braced myself for like, okay, I'm going to have to work on the game after I launch, so don't think about it like, oh, now I can take a vacation, because I should expect to have to do some like rampant bug fixing, panic mode, respond to people on Steam forums, and try to not lose my mind after I ship the thing. But there's still also something else about just coming to the end of this project that I guess I wasn't quite prepared for, which is sort of like a loss of meaning. Like, in a large way, Taiji has been the purpose of my whole life for the past like almost decade. And as like I come to the end of the project, it's like, well, I mean, it's nice to be done with the thing, but at the same time, it's like I don't really know what's next, and I don't really have a focus past that. I sort of learned the hard way in my past that if you allow yourself to like dabble in other things while you're working on a major project, you often get distracted by the shiny new things. You don't finish the major project. So I just sort of set a rule for this whole project that I wasn't really allowed to do anything. I did some small puzzle script games, but those were things that they were done in puzzle script for a reason, mostly because that just like forcibly limits the scope of the thing. But in any case, it's been effective at making sure that I didn't drop the project, but at the same time, it's cost me that I don't really have any ideas about what to do next. I mean, I have some ideas, but I haven't done any prototyping or anything, so I really don't know if any of those ideas are even worth anything. They're just things that I think, oh, that could be interesting. In a way, I think it's kind of just the curse of like being a creative person. I've had friends who say like, oh boy, I wish I was as creative as you are. But like that's sort of a double-edged sword, being creative, because I mean, as any of you who are creative will know, like that sword kind of cuts both ways. And the other side of that is that you kind of have to be creative or else you sort of die, right? So like it's your self-worth gets wrapped up in your creative output in a way that's kind of impossible to escape. Like, you can try to meditate and stuff, but it's still like it is a big part of why you stick around is to like make things. So I do like that I'm a creative person. I obviously enjoy making things, but sometimes I do wish that I was a little bit better at being able to relax in like a non-neurotic way. You know, like sometimes I just wish they could plug me back in the Matrix, right? I mean, I know that this steak isn't real.
I know that when I put it in my mouth, the Matrix is telling my brain that it is juicy and delicious. After 9 years, you know what I realize?
Let's laugh
Rubber and roll, shoe on the pedal, make up my coat, you face in the mirror. It's a dangerous night. Calling on the phone, waiting the lobby, ready to run and die, hands getting sloppy.
All right, well, that's it for this installment. So thanks again for watching. You know, the usual accoutrement at the end here, but I do want to remind everybody that there is a Discord group for the game. So if you want to kind of keep up with some things, I do try to post more frequently there than maybe some other places. Certainly here's every 2 or 3 weeks. So in any case, I did say that you should stay tuned for an announcement, and I apologize for not having that already, but the playtesting has been taking up a little bit more of my time than I thought it would, so still look forward to that, because I'll try to get that before the end of the month. I think that would be ideal. If not, then I may have to start thinking about whether I change the nature of that announcement. But in any case, I will see you all in another 2 weeks. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.
It's a dangerous night. It's a dangerous night. The night.